Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Zoom Into Wine. It's time for the show and your host, Ian Blackburn.
So, with that, welcome to my little discussion tonight about Santa Barbara. Put a little wine in a glass, a little swirl. Cheers, everyone. For those of you that are fortunate enough to have the wines of Côtière, I just really love the way he's able to coax out considerable amount of character, complexity, richness. There's a polish, there's innate qualities in this wine that I think at its price point just really are surprising. And I believe that Santa Barbara is a big guide here. I mean, he wouldn't be able to do this without some great fruit from Santa Barbara. Hi, Eric. How are you? Good to see you, buddy. I'd love to show a little video that I played with Kevin, and we made these videos together. Kevin's a little shy, so his appearance on our Zoom is a little abbreviated into a couple of video parts, but that works out well for everything that we've got planned for tonight. So let me take you into that part right now. And here's my video with Kevin tasting his Chardonnay. Blackbird. So Kevin, today we're tasting the Santa Barbara Côtière 2017 Chardonnay. What were the sources behind this fruit?
So this is primarily Santa Maria Valley from Murmur Vineyard.
Can't see it, Ian.
Can't see it?
A little bit from La Rinconada in Santa Rita Hills.
Oh, wow. Let me bring it in. And so we're talking Chardonnay, so we take it, we bring it back. Are you doing a whole cluster pressing?
Basically, just whole cluster pressing this, and all barrel fermented. I try and use as many pungens as possible, which are the larger format barrels. I find that is an incredibly efficient fermenting vessel, and you also get a lot of complexities out of that.
Are you inoculating or doing natural?
Sometimes I'll go native. Other times it's nice to use a good cultured yeast from France that's been used for hundreds of years, basically.
Sure. And do you have a particular a wood or forest that you like to focus on with Chardonnay? Is there a particular singular oak feature?
I really like the Allier forest. I find that it brings out a lot more of that oaky sweetness without being too. Sometimes oak can have a little bit of bitterness to it, and Allier has a nice round, soft component. And all my barrels are 3-year air dried, which also helps for longevity and complexity.
And when you're in the vineyard tasting this fruit, are you looking for numbers that you like to see? Is there a particular, I mean, you have some history now, so you know, maybe, hey, that wine's getting close because just numerically, right? Or is it just taste?
Taste is always nice, but I try and pick primarily on acids. I find that acids are the key to really where you want the wine to end up at eventually once it's a finished wine. So acids are pretty much primarily my goal as far as trying to understand when the best time to pick is.
Mm-hmm. There's something so Puini Montrachet about your wine. It's got a really cool combination of earth and wood and richness and fruit. It's not overly oaky or overly buttery. It's got a really good stance right there with one leg kind of on the old world, one leg in the new world. And I was pretty struck by this wine many times. Every time I taste it, I'm like, that is good, man. And your price and value proposition is really strong. And I just believe this is just one of the best values we can find. You're a small artisan producer using really high quality fruit, and you're putting it into a package that delivers at a price point that's just, solid and dependable. And I think it's even better than that.
Well, thank you. I definitely do my absolute best to try and to over deliver with all my products. So
yeah, it's just got a really nice integration in the wood profile. I really think I feel the weight and the mouthfeel, a little concentration. I get really fun, like I said, that hint of minerality. I'm not sure what vineyard is providing that, but our alcohol is pretty restrained here too, right?
yeah, the Murmur Vineyard I usually pick a little bit riper because of the acids in that vineyard. They run a little bit high, but the La Rinconada part of it, which makes up about, I would say, 25% of this, definitely you can pick that at a much lower number, and it definitely, the two go together beautifully, I believe.
That's nice. Yeah, it's drinking great. That creaminess kind of gives way to the acidity, and really great length, solid concentration. Yeah, man, I just don't know if I've tasted a Chardonnay that's any better, in the proximity of your price point. So I always look for wines that I can say that about. I have to taste kiss a lot of frogs to find a good one, and this wine just makes me very happy, and I recommend this all day long. And I just don't think you're getting enough credit here. Have you submitted this for scores?
Actually, yes. Antonio Villani at Vinos and also Jeb Dunnick both have scored this. They both gave it 92 points, so, which is a great score for basically an AVA wine.
Yeah, they're not handing that 92 out. You earned that 92. That's a solid score for a wine of this price point, and I mean, it's absolutely a 92 plus wine. And I see this being something that you could probably put down for 4 or 5 more years too, and continue to get some more evolution out of. But it's really, solid right now. You do not have to hold back, but it has layers and concentration that will reward some future moments as well. Do you make this in large formats?
Yes. So I would say half of this was probably in pungeons.
Yeah, I mean, magnums or...
Oh, magnums. Okay. No, not this. The single vineyard, I always do 3 liters in magnums.
Cool. And now that you've been around for a while, you open those puppies up, those magnums, those 3 liters, and they're getting close to 10 years old. Those are pretty flippin' delicious, right?
Absolutely. I make so few of them though, because they're all done right here at the winery the day before bottling. So it's all done that evening when you're tired, getting ready for bottling the next day. So your goal is to do maybe a dozen 3 liters, and then you end up doing only 6 because you're too tired.
Yeah, and these things cost a little extra because they're filled by hand. They're heavy glass, big investment in the glass. I'm not sure if you have to actually print special labels just for them too, but that makes it another painful expense to blow up the label in a larger format.
Yes.
Magnums are, but the reward, that little extra investment, that gives you a wine that's really, really special. If you have a library of large formats that you want to offer, I'll put them up to our audience.
Okay.
Yeah, send it up to me.
Okay.
But yeah, this is the type of wine I'd love to pull out of a big bottle, man. It's drinking so good. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. I wish I had magnums of this, but I don't. But
Yeah, no, that's fine. Single vineyard's fine. That's cool.
sure.
Yeah. Nice. All right. So that's my time with Kevin talking about a Chardonnay. So I'm talking with Kevin about his wines before we get into some other topics that some of you are tuning in for, and I appreciate your patience in letting me present our Chardonnay Pinot tonight from Kevin Law, winemaker of Côtière. And Kevin has been a journeyman in Santa Barbara wine. He's even making wines now from other appellations. But literally, we taped this on Monday morning, moments after finding out about Jim's death. And so kind of tied into the moment. And that's also probably tying into the energy a little bit. But Kevin was pretty set back. So I was able to talk to him about his Pinot Noir as well. And I'm a big fan of these wines. You're not going to see them in many places, but I want to show them to you and take off my little screen share. The Côtière label, you pretty much only find this up in his tasting room. There's a little bit of distribution on the wines, but these are the kind of wines I look for, things that I would serve at a restaurant, things that would be very proud for you to pull out and say, Ian recommended this to me. And it's hard to find those wines. He's a teeny producer, but his price point's solid, fantastic.